Chasing the Sun. Chapter 1. A New Beginning. Ella stood at the edge of the park, the early morning sun casting a warm glow over the dew-covered grass. She took a deep breath, feeling the cool breeze brush against her face. The sky was a perfect shade of blue, and everything seemed so fresh, so full of promise. It was a day that felt different somehow, like the beginning of something new. She glanced to her side at Liam, who was quietly watching the path ahead. They had only known each other for a few weeks, but already it felt like they had shared a lifetime. Their paths had crossed by chance at a crowded cafe, both reaching for the last cup of coffee on a rainy Tuesday morning. A simple smile, a shared laugh, and a conversation that had flowed like they had known each other forever. From that moment, something clicked between them, a spark neither could explain. Now, they walked side by side through the park, matching their steps to the rhythm of their hearts. Liam turned to her, his eyes bright with excitement. "Where should we go today?" he asked with a grin. Ella shrugged, pretending to be casual, though her heart was racing. "Anywhere," she replied softly, "as long as it's with you." They wandered down the winding path, the world awakening around them. Birds sang from the branches above, and the leaves rustled like they were whispering secrets. Each step felt like a small adventure, every turn of the path leading them deeper into the unknown. Liam took her hand, his touch warm and steady. "Let's run," he said suddenly, his voice full of joy. Ella laughed, surprised. "Run? Where?" "Through fields of gold," he answered, a playful gleam in his eye. "Let's make our own stories, chase the sun, and never stop. What do you say?" Ella felt a rush of exhilaration. She didn't know what lay ahead, but she felt brave enough to find out. "I say, let's break the mold." Hand in hand, they began to run, their laughter echoing through the morning air. For the first time in a long time, Ella felt free. She felt alive. And as they ran, with the wind in their hair and their hearts racing, she knew that whatever happened next, they would face it together. Chapter 2. City Lights, New Dreams. The city was alive, buzzing with energy as the night descended. Neon signs flickered above the streets, their colours reflecting off the wet pavement. Ella and Liam stood in the heart of it all, gazing up at the towering buildings that seemed to reach for the stars. The air was filled with 1,000 voices, people laughing, cars honking, music spilling out of open windows. It was a symphony of sounds, a song of possibilities. Ella felt a shiver of excitement run down her spine. The city was different from the quiet park where they had started their day, but it was thrilling, vibrant, and new. Liam squeezed her hand, pulling her closer. "This is where dreams are made," he said softly, his voice almost lost in the hum of the crowd. "And tonight, it's ours." They walked through the streets, navigating the maze of people and lights. They stopped at a small street vendor, where Liam insisted they try the hot dogs that the city was famous for. Ella laughed as he took a huge bite, mustard dripping down his chin. "You're a mess," she teased, wiping his face with a napkin. "But I'm your mess," he replied with a wink, making her heart skip a beat. They continued their adventure, stopping to watch a group of street performers dancing to a lively beat. Liam couldn't resist joining in, pulling Ella into the circle. She hesitated at first, feeling self-conscious in front of so many strangers, but Liam's enthusiasm was infectious. He moved with such confidence and joy that Ella found herself laughing, dancing with abandon, letting go of all her fears. As the music played, they spun and twirled, losing themselves in the rhythm. For a moment, the world around them disappeared, and it was just the two of them, moving in sync, their hearts pounding in unison. The crowd cheered as they finished with a dramatic dip, and Ella felt a rush of exhilaration. She could feel Liam's breath against her cheek, his eyes locked on hers. They slipped away from the crowd, finding a quieter street where the noise faded into a distant hum. They stopped by a small fountain, its water sparkling under the city lights. Liam took her hand again, this time more serious. "Do you ever feel like this is it?" he asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "Like everything you've ever wanted is right here, right now?" Ella looked at him, her heart racing. "Yes," she said, surprised at how much she meant it. "I feel like I'm living in a dream I never want to wake up from." Liam smiled, a slow, tender smile that sent a wave of warmth through her. "Then let's not wake up," he said. "Let's keep going, no matter where this takes us." The city lights danced in their eyes as they stood there, close enough to feel each other's heartbeat. They knew the world would challenge them, that there would be highs and lows. But for now, in this moment, it was just them. Two young hearts ready to take on whatever came next, their flame burning brighter than the lights of the city. Ella leaned in, resting her head on Liam's shoulder. The future was uncertain, but she felt safe, protected. She could face anything as long as Liam was by her side. "We'll play the game," she whispered, "and we'll win." Liam kissed the top of her head. "Always," he replied, and they turned back to the city, ready to take their next step into the unknown. Chapter 3: Chasing the Sun. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. Ella and Liam had settled into a rhythm that felt like magic. They explored the city's hidden corners, danced under the moonlight in empty squares, and shared secrets under starlit skies. Their love grew, shaped by the adventures they shared and the challenges they faced. Together, they felt unstoppable, as if the world was theirs to conquer. But life, as always, had its way of testing them. One chilly afternoon, as the autumn leaves fell around them, Liam received a call that changed everything. An opportunity had come, a job offer in a city far away across the ocean. It was everything he had dreamed of, a chance to do what he loved and make a name for himself. Yet, it meant leaving everything behind, including Ella. They sat on a bench in their favourite park, the same one where their journey had begun. The air was crisp and the trees were painted in shades of gold and red. Liam held the letter in his hands, his face filled with a mix of excitement and worry. Ella felt a lump form in her throat. She knew this was important to him, but the thought of losing him terrified her. "You should go," she said finally, forcing herself to be strong. Her voice was steady, but her eyes betrayed her pain. "This is your dream, Liam. You've worked so hard for this." Liam turned to her, his expression serious. "But what about us?" he asked, his voice filled with uncertainty. "What happens to us?" Ella looked down, her heart aching. She didn't have an answer. All she knew was that she loved him too much to hold him back. "We'll find a way," she whispered more to herself than to him. "If we're meant to be, we'll find a way." They sat in silence for a long moment, the weight of their decision hanging between them. Finally, Liam reached out and took her hand, his grip firm and reassuring. "Ella," he said, his voice gentle but determined, "I want you to come with me." Ella's heart skipped a beat. She hadn't expected this. "But my life is here," she protested, though her voice was wavering. "My work, my friends, everything." Liam's eyes softened. "I know," he said, "and I know it's a lot to ask, but I can't imagine doing this without you. You're my partner, Ella, my everything." Tears filled Ella's eyes, but they were tears of confusion, of fear, of love. She had always been brave with Liam, always ready to run through fields of gold and chase the sun. But this was different. This was real. "What if it doesn't work out?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. Liam smiled, a calm, reassuring smile that melted her fears away. "Then we'll make it work," he said simply. Together, just like we always have. Ella felt her heart swell with a mix of emotions: love, fear, hope. She knew that choosing to go with Liam meant leaving behind the familiar, stepping into the unknown. But she also knew that life without him was unimaginable. With a deep breath, she made her decision. "Okay," she said, her voice firm. "I'll go. We'll chase the sun together, no matter where it takes us." Liam's face broke into a wide grin, and he pulled her into his arms. "I promise, Ella," he whispered against her hair. "We'll make our own path. We'll break the mold, and we'll do it together." And so, they left the city that had been their playground, their stage, their canvas. They packed their bags with clothes and memories, filled their hearts with courage and hope, and set off on a new adventure. They didn't know what the future held, but they knew they would face it side by side. They boarded a plane that night, the sky dark but the horizon glowing with the promise of dawn. As the plane lifted off, Ella looked out the window and saw the sun rising, casting its golden light over the clouds. She smiled, knowing that this was just the beginning. For in every sunrise, in every step they took, they would continue to run through fields of gold, chase the sun, and, together, break the mold.
The morning breaks, the sky is blue, a gentle breeze, the world is new. We walk the path, just me and you. With every step our dreams come true, and we will run through fields of gold. Our stories young, our hearts so bold. We'll chase the sun and never fold. Together we will break the mold. The city lights, they call our name. We take our shot, we play the game. Through highs and lows, it's all the same. A burning fire, a glowing flame, and we will run through fields of gold. Our stories young, our hearts so bold. We'll chase the sun and never fold. Together we will break the mold. The city lights, they call our name. We take our shot, we play the game. Through highs and lows, it's all the same. Our burning fire, a glowing flame, and we will run through fields of gold. Our stories young, our hearts so bold. We'll chase the sun and never fold. Together we will break the mold.